Hello everybody, Jet here, and welcome back to my Beastman Let's Play. So, we are just got a little bit of recruitment to do at the moment. Sorry, a bit of levelling up to do. We've just got a little hang at the moment, sorry about that. He says a little hang, it's still hung. There it goes. The person who was asking why I wasn't levelling up my spells in my comments, by the way, I will be levelling them up. I just like to get through so I have all of the options early on, because it just, well, because it gives me more options to be using on the battlefield, so I do quite like it. I'm going to take the, pop this one up, so get the hex sorted out relatively quickly. Right, the other thing I was asked is why I'm leaving these guys here. Why? I can't do it because I'm too close to another faction's army. Okay, that's better. So we're going to move these guys forwards and go into encampment stance because we're trying to goad these guys forwards, to trick these guys forward so I can get an ambush off. Meanwhile, these guys are pushing aggressively forwards. And we are going to start sieging here. We're going to circle, we'll wait until our Bray Herd is with us with this one as well, though. Because I don't fancy, you know, because basically I'm being a little bit cowardly. It's not a straight easy take. You know what, I could take it, in fact, and I shouldn't be taking it with you, should I? So actually, let's break that siege. You can hit it. You can actually go into encampment stance to do a little bit of recruitment. And you know what, we're going to take this now. We're good enough. And we're going to take the growth because I've got plenty of cash at the moment. And basically I'm trying to get these little hordes growing as fast as I can. Because obviously the quicker I grow, so it's got 9 population surplus, which means I can do a few things now. I do want to get this out at some point, but I want to get at least the lower tiers of a couple of other buildings first. So I've got the Gauls. I probably want to push out the Minotaurs first, and the Centaurs. Maybe we'll work it out anyway. I've got plenty of time to do that. So you, how much do you have? You've got 5, so we're going to go for this one to R simply because it ups my growth. Well, actually, no, that'll be fine for the time being. I've got a little bit of leveling up to do. Now these guys, we are pushing through the certainly the Ungor, upping my Ungors, and then we're going to start looking here. We'll start buffing up our Gors and other things. Let's sort out their vigor reduction and enter. Now, somebody has also asked why I'm allied with the Skaven at the moment. While it's not lore friendly, I'm going to be honest, I'm not particularly good with lore friendly, but I do at least know enough to get that. It's not even because I trust the Skaven. I fully expect them to backstab me at some point. It's mostly because... oh, nice little battle here. So we are defending against the dwarfs here with our 3 armies. So I'm just going to auto this because this is a nice easy one, and we're going to take the replenishment. Okay, and that was why I was having those guys in that encampment stance, because they walked onto me by accident and got stuck. But no, the reason I've allied with Skaven is simply to provide me with a buffer from the dwarfs while I'm dealing with everything, while I'm clearing their territory. Because if I hadn't done this little alliance with Skaven, the dwarfs would have just been following me around as I was clearing everything here, and I'd have to be so basically I wouldn't have actually been clearing their territory. As it is, the Skaven are probably going to be moving into all this territory behind me, and then I can clear all of this out and clear north, and as I push, the Skaven will clear everything behind me, which will really help give me a lot of support. And While at some point I might end up going to war with Skaven, killing the Skaven is not part of my victory conditions. So actually I can ignore pretty much, let the Skaven take territory, because my victory conditions are to kill the Dwarfs and the Empire factions. I don't think I need to kill Bretonnia, but if I do, that'll be something I can always focus on later. Basically, it's all about it just giving me that little bit of support. Okay, so another nice easy auto. I did lose a couple of units, but it's not a bad one. Possibly should have thought that simply because of all those cannons would have been an interesting one. In fact, I should have thought that, so never mind, next time. No, I still don't want to give you a military alliance, no matter how friendly you are. But no, so now we've cleared out all those armies around us, which gives us a lot more flexibility. So I can actually start using those two hordes to go and start pushing aggressively again. Now, which is really going to help. Okay, we're going to take the full replenishment for all our units. And where to go next? Well, here, obviously. So let's start bouncing over to these guys. And you two can now start bouncing down to here. If somebody else reappears, we can always pop back up. I do need to level up that army a little bit, but that can wait a little bit. I don't need to necessarily be doing that right away. Okay, we're going to keep pushing up through your trees just to make you tougher. Let's look. We're going to start pushing through Slugskin here to up my weapon strength of all my guys as well. Same with you. Oh no, actually we want to push growth still. Okay, which one do we want to buff? Let's get the wind spell, because that is a very nice spell, that wind spell. Okay, so let's just keep this aggression on here, and we'll start really pushing through and smashing all of these guys. Now, the dwarfs do still have quite a few forces below me, but I'm not so fussed now. Now I think I've got a good tactic with this setting up encampments to draw them onto me, especially now I've lost my train. I wouldn't have felt so keen about doing that while I had 6 or 7 full stacks following me. While epic battles are fun, they're not necessarily good for the campaign. So they're great fun to watch, they're brilliant fun to play actually, but when you're doing campaign stuff, sometimes they just get you killed, because you have this epic battle, you limp out of it, and then you've got to spend 10 turns regenning, and then you have another epic battle, and then you've got to spend a few turns regenerating, and yeah, it just gets, over time, it just gets generally worse for you, and you start having you start getting bigger and bigger issues maintaining what you've got, as especially in a faction the size of a dwarf, they can keep throwing things at me if needs be. And here I've cleared a nice section here. We're going to smash here and start pushing down. These guys are going to clear down as well. Then we're going to push up and work out exactly where we're going, because they can pop over the coast here, but we'll probably spread out a bit as we push up, just to keep clearing our way up and really breaking the dwarfs. And you know, once we've completely broken the dwarfs here, we'll probably look at sending a couple of hordes through this way to clear up the last segments and look at the Empire factions and start pushing up through the mountains with my other 2 hordes. Okay, it's now time to hit here. And this is another nice easy auto. Once again, we're taking the growth with this little guy. And let's look. So, this one, which is a nice little buff, but I'm more interested in the next segment, actually. Oh, why do I not have this one? This is the far better one of those. I don't know why I did 2 of them and not one of them, because obviously this gives you a lot more than even a few levels of this. Okay, so you can... Oh, you are the small horde. Yeah, so you can hit here. We can continue at siege. You... no, we don't want to do that. You can sneak down. And now it's nice easy auto again. And once again we are taking the growth for my small horde. Right, we've got one bit of recruitment to do here. Oh, we can build something. What do I want to build? I can unlock myself giants, which I'm really not that fussed about, because I don't well, I've got one, I don't actually particularly rate him. I could go this way, which would get me another legendary lord, but again, I'm not that particularly fussed about the chaos units. Wow. I think we'll go down this one to get so I can recruit Cygals from this guy. Okay, keep pushing up the growth tree. Buff for direct damage. Let's buff up the vortex a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of vortex spells because they can be very hit and miss. They can help you, but at the same time you can also suffer quite badly for using them. Okay, so we're going to bring everybody together at Karak, however you pronounce it. I'm going to leave the Skaven there because I think these two Skaven armies can probably deal with that Skaven army. If not, I can always push back up after. And then we're going to clear here, then we'll burn down the rest of the territory, and then we'll start pushing north again. What I'll probably do once I get here, we'll probably spread out and clear along. It's just, I'm going to have to pay attention to dwarfs sneaking over the sea there. And obviously I've got all these human factions here who I'm also at war with. So I've just got to be careful I don't get too spread out by accident. That's what I was expecting to happen there. Which is why the Skaven are also very good, because that would have been an ambush attack there, probably. And because the Skaven get a very high ambush chance. They've got a stance like me where they can ambush people. But no, Karak, however I pronounce it, is my next target. You can see they've got a couple of armies there. Which again, they've pulled away from the Skaven territory, I believe, giving the Skaven a bit more breathing space. So, and again, guys, the reason I'm defending the Skaven is absolutely nothing to do with lore. It's because it benefits me. I'm not paying you money to go to war with somebody. These guys really don't get it, do they? So next turn, we will smash them. Oh, it is next turn. I'm not paying attention, guys. Let's move you around. And move you around. And move you two up. Now the question is, will they be in range if I attack? No, so we're not going to do that just yet. I'm going to wait until everything's in range and we've got all of our Bray herds with us. And those dwarfs probably know they're a bit stuffed now. They might even try and use the underway to get out of there. And depending on the strength of that army and who intercepts it, if that's the case, Oh, see, that's what I don't want to be happening. And we've got an underway interception chance here. Now, with this army, I actually think I've got a better chance than this thing thinks. So I'm actually going to fight this battle. I do have a banner to use. Oh, extra armor piercing damage. Ooh, who can get that? Some of my Gors can get that. So we're going to have a nice fight here. My front line of my bestie Gors, of course, and my Gors will, my Gors will be a part of my flanking force. So this is going to be a tricky place to flank. And obviously I've got a lot of a lot of bestial units here, and I do want to watch for these slayers because they are anti-large, which is quite a big chunk of my army. But these guys are very good at disruption, actually, so I could even do it differently. I could even slam some of them into their front ranks and then use my bestie Gors on the side. Certainly I could do a good solid Minotaur charge right into their front rank and use some of the others on the sides. I reckon having a pure Minotaur army would be incredibly powerful, but it would also be incredibly expensive. But I don't think much would be able to defeat you, actually. Okay, so let's start my deployment, because that's plenty of magic. I'm not going to do that. These guys are my high armor units. That is their job. Their job is to soak the center. That's why they've got the armor. It means they can hold for a lot. They can hold there. Okay, a couple of Minotaurs on each side. Giant can go this side. As can one of these guys, and two of these guys can go this side. You can go that side, and and Malagor can go there, and we will start the battle, and we will start moving forward. Oh, they seem to be moving forwards on me this time. Right, let's double time to get things into position. I can hopefully force them to attack, and if they attack me, I will have the advantage of the slope. Let's summon ourselves another Centaur. This is actually really good, because I will be able to charge down this slope onto them. Which will be really, really powerful. Give it a little second longer before I go. All of these guys can try and get around behind them. You guys can start. My Minotaurs can start pushing through at their ranged. You can just get involved into the centre. You can push past. You guys can just shoot where you want. Okay. We're doing nicely here. Let's get this off nicely. I'll clip a couple of mine, but this should do nice damage to this unit. There you go. Let's charge forwards and buff myself up. We are breaking the dwarfs here now. Let's keep the chase on. I really need to start getting into their range, though. I need to put some guys into here because my bestigals are beginning to take a bit too much damage. You guys can keep chasing. Strong again. Multiple units. We'll pop this here. That's breaking their lines. And let's just hammer through. Just keep this pressure on. You can hit this. You guys can keep charging, and we've got the matter out here, guys. We are good. We have this now. Now, this is the issue. Bestigors, while they're good, they do always take a lot of damage. However, they took a lot of damage, but they won, so I'm not that fussed by that. So we've nicely smashed through there. We devastated that force, which is quite good. Gave us a nice, decent start there. And next turn, that means that fortress we're assaulting now isn't actually going to... We're going to take the replen this time. But this fortress we're attacking just lost most of its defenders, so we're in a much stronger position here for next turn when we hit Karak Azgal. So Karak Azgal will fall next turn, and then we're in a... And then we'll keep clearing down here. I probably won't need... I'll probably split up again, and I'll probably send my other two over here to start clearing this way. So I'm only bringing my hordes together when I really need to hit the tougher places to take. I don't think there's any capitals around here where I'm attacking at the moment, so I can get away with this with spreading myself out quite a bit more. The other thing about spreading myself out is it means I can be hitting places faster, which means I get more growth and I get more money and I get it quicker. Okay, so Avalon are sending somebody down there, so I do need to be aware of that. That's the other reason why I'm going to split myself, because these guys who are following down will be picked off as they come in by my ambush hordes, my ambush herds. Okay, so we're nearly back through to us now. United against us, those evil people. Uniting against my nice, peaceful herds who just want to find a home, guys. It's disgusting, isn't it? Nice, easy auto. We're taking the cash this time. Let's start pushing this, because this is a buff for everybody. You can actually pop into this return just to get a little bit of regen. And you can pop out another gore. Right. Oh, that's nice. That's very nice, that reload time for Cygors. Then we're going to take the extra... Oh. We're going to buff up my Gores to start with. Oh, actually no, let's take Slugskin to start with, because that's everybody. Right, you two can bounce back up this way. And once we've dealt with this guy, we'll work out where they're going next. These two guys can chill for a turn, and they're going to push down here. We're going to take Death Gorge, Qatar, and here. There's a couple of armies over here, so I do actually need to be careful there. So actually, once we've dealt with Avaland, we might move all our forces over here to deal with those two armies, and then pull back and clear here. I mean, the Skaven might even easily shred Avalanche, so that's not necessarily an issue. These guys are falling apart, so I might actually try and bring them on board as well. Give myself another horde here, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing, it's not necessarily a good thing. It's it will cost me more money, but it means I can be using them. And again, having that fifth horde, I can probably get away with being a bit aggressive with it, because I really won't care so much if it dies. You can see how long all of these other turns are beginning to take. There's so much going on in the world at the moment, so many battles and wars. Though everybody is at war with me, I think the world is beginning to slowly unite against me, other than a few people like my faithful Skaven friends who I trust not at all. Okay, so they dealt with them. I should have trusted them to do that, actually. So it's just, it is literally now moving down, finishing off the rest of the dwarfs down here, and then clearing our way up, making sure they don't get behind me at all, so that I have every opportunity to shred them. Not happening. Oh wow, the Lawmasters have invaded over here. Wow, that was not something I expected. The Greybeard Prospectors are relatively big as well. No, I'll take the gold, please. I don't want to be lowering my I don't want to be lowering my income at all unless I absolutely have to. Nope. Right, let's double time it down. Where do I want to send you guys? You guys can start heading this way. I don't trust these dwarfs here. Hopefully they're heading this way. But they might well be coming in. I might need to bring both of my guys together again. All of my guys together again to deal with them. It's a very nice augment, so I'm buffing that one up. Okay. So things are going nicely at the moment. We are finally, as I said, we lost our tail, and that was my big thing. When I was smashing through the Heartland, that tail was probably my biggest issue. Now, they will be rebuilding up here, but it will take them a long time to get back to where they are. So I probably, by smashing through their Heartland like that, you know, I have probably massively handicapped the dwarfs, because they had a lot of armies out, which cost them a lot of money. So their overall income has probably dropped quite a bit, which means that they will be able to maintain less. And now I'm whittling away their their southern empire, the southern side of their empire, and it's getting split off from them. You know, they've actually got a split now between the north and south. So if I can finish off this south, it really does. Every territory I take from the dwarfs makes them weaker, basically now. Especially as they'll have been funneling a lot of cash into bringing the north back into order. I don't know what's happening with the Empire at the moment. I've not even seen the Empire yet in this game. I've basically spent my most of my time around the Badlands, a little foray over to the Wood Elf territory, but most of my time has been spent around this area of the map. Now, you see, the thing is, I get negatives to my bestial rage for allying with them. Still not happening. Though if I do ally with him, he might eventually agree to confederate with me, which is a good thing because it gives me a few turns of cheaper units.
Malagor.
Oops. Right, let's hit here. No point not bringing everybody to bear. Take the growth again. He's now getting a nice surplus there, so we might actually take a turn or two just to build a couple of buildings. You can go into encampment stance. You guys can start bouncing down here. Nice thing is this horrible marsh doesn't bother my guys in the slightest. Right, I'm going to take the hit and ally with Redhorn tribe. And now, eventually, I might be able to get them to confederate with me, but we'll have to wait a few turns to see about that. Okay. So I do need to pay attention to where those two other little dwarf armies are, because they could come out of the woodwork somewhere worrying. However, again, I think the dwarfs, they're what's the word I'm after? They're too spread out. What they're looking at is too all over the place, so they're not focused enough at the moment. They really should be focusing on trying to deal with me. Now, the Skaven are suffering down here because they've got their bigger armies up here, but I think the Skaven are quite happy with the situation at the moment. I wish they would be expanding more, but think they are a little worried about fighting things. And the Empire has been destroyed, guys! So I don't need to worry about the Empire, it's the other human factions who are left. And the Dwarfs. The Dwarfs are my biggest issue still. So I do need to keep an eye on them and work out exactly how we're dealing with that. But no, I'm happy with how things are going. We've got a couple more places to hit down here, and then we're clear down here, and we can start sweeping our way back up. So we'll actually sweep our way back up here, and I'll send a couple of guys up this way as well, and we'll start burning along. It's watching over here is where, as I keep saying, it's them coming back over the sea, which is the real worry. Anyway, I'm just going to double check exactly who I have to wipe out and who's left of that next turn. Nope. Okay. Nearly back to me, guys. Oh, wow. Had they really come down here to attack me? So the Empire has been destroyed. I think the vampires are rather strong, guys. So, who is left? I have to kill Bretonnia, Averland, and the dwarves. So the dwarves are probably the biggest problem. I don't know how big Averland actually are. Let's have a look at the balances of power. So the dwarfs are still technically more powerful than me. Where's Bretonnia on this? Bretonnia is weaker than me, and Averland are pathetic. They have one territory. The vampires are terrifyingly powerful. So the vampire counts have taken over the world. I think the vampire counts are pushing into Bretonnia now, but the vampire counts, this is the scary thing, the vampire counts are now at war with the dwarfs. They were friends with them for a long time, so the vampire counts and the dwarfs have gone to war, so that's probably where all the dwarven armies have gone now. And that is a huge benefit to me, because the vampire counts are probably, let's look.
Ready.
They are huge. They are the most powerful faction I know at the moment. So I think the dwarves might be in trouble with me hitting them from behind as well. Anyway, guys, we are going to be ending this session here. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and thank you for your time. Next turn, these two places, and we'll start sweeping up and clearing out the rest of the dwarfs. And at this rate, especially with vampires not on our side, but we'll be able to finish off the last few dwarven settlements in this and the Averland, and we'll be able to fight the final battle against man. The what is it? Fight the fall of man. So that should hopefully, you know, we should be able to get there relatively quickly. What's the short campaign battle? They're fairly similar, the short and the long campaign, actually. The long campaign involves the dwarfs. The short campaign doesn't actually involve the dwarfs. Anyway, guys, as I said, thank you very much for watching.